Have you ever felt like your own personal struggles were just so huge, so isolating, that they basically became your entire world? Well, today we're going to do something a little wild. We're going to connect those deep, painful moments to the grand 13.8 billion year story of the universe itself. It's a massive idea, I know. So let's start small, with the challenges we all face.
We all have one, right? An elephant in the room. That profound personal challenge, a loss, a secret pain that just feels way too big to even talk about. For the author of our source material, it was a divorce that completely upended his life. And that's our starting point.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. Confronting that elephant, that's not the end. It's actually the beginning of a dance. For the author, his divorce after a 12-year marriage wasn't just a tragedy. Nope. It was an invitation to a new kind of movement, a new way to engage with life's biggest challenges.
And that dance, it's governed by a universal principle, one that's as old as the cosmos itself. Let's talk about duality. You might know it as the dance of yin and yang.
Okay, so what's so fascinating here is how you can break down one single story into these two opposing yet connected forces. On one side, you've got the yin, the sharp, emotional pain, the guilt over his son's suffering. But at the exact same time, there was the yang, the reality that his kids were still deeply loved, that new, caring relationships were being formed, and that his own life was being creatively rebuilt. You see, pain and potential existing together.
And this metaphor just nails it, doesn't it? Real transformation isn't always pretty. Sometimes it feels like a total end. I mean, the caterpillar literally has to dissolve into goo in the darkness of the cocoon. It's only by going through that complete destruction that it can be reborn as a butterfly.
So even when the path takes us through those tough spots, the poppy fields of doubt and despair, there is an emerald city, a destination of meaning. This pattern of challenge and transformation, this yin and yang, it's not some random accident. It's the fundamental rhythm of life. The key is you have to trust the journey.
All right, now let's zoom out. I mean way out. From one person's story of loss and rebirth to the 13.8 billion year story of, well, everything. Because that same exact pattern, it's literally written in the stars.
And here it is. This is the big reveal. That dance of duality that shapes our personal lives is the very same engine that has been driving the universe since the beginning of time. Our own stories are just echoes of this grand cosmic epic.
Just look at how this plays out over billions of years. Out of the fiery chaos of the Big Bang, the first stars were born. But then, those stars had to die in massive explosions, supernovas, just to create the elements needed for life. And get this, the extinction of the dinosaurs, a moment of absolute planetary destruction, is what cleared the way for mammals, and eventually us, to even have a shot. It's destruction and creation over and over and over again.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's not a metaphor. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you're breathing in right this moment. It was all forged inside stars that lived and died long before our planet even existed. We are, quite literally, made of stardust.
And according to the philosopher Thomas Berry, this connection goes even deeper. We aren't just in the universe, we are the universe. Think about it. Humanity is the part of this 13.8 billion year story that finally woke up, looked around, and said, wow, look at all this.
Okay, so if we are all part of this incredible cosmic dance, how do we, actually navigate it? How do we build relationships with ourselves, with each other, with the planet, that can handle this constant flow of creation and destruction? Well, let's look at a practical toolkit.
The source material gives us these 4 pillars as a foundation. First, respect for everyone's journey. Then, trust, which is basically the glue that holds everything together. Confidentiality, so we can create safe spaces. And a real desire for growth. But hold on, not endless material growth. We're talking about deep, inner, spiritual evolution, which, unlike a bank account, is truly infinite.
And we can expand on this with what's called revolutionary love. It starts with love for yourself, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. Then it expands outward to others, to building a real community. It even extends to our opponents, not to excuse what they've done, but to heal our own wounds. And finally, it encompasses the entire Earth, because we are all deeply interconnected.
So let's bring all of this together. We've got these personal tools, we've got this grand cosmic perspective. So what?
What does this all mean for the world we're living in, right here, right now?
You know, all the huge, overlapping crises we face today, climate change, social division, you name it, they can be seen as symptoms of one single underlying problem, a metacrisis. And at the very heart of this metacrisis is a broken story.
This is that old story, the one a lot of us grew up with. It's a story all about separation, that humans are somehow apart from and better than the natural world. It's a story that tells us the whole point is just to accumulate more and more stuff on a planet that has limits. And we are living in the consequences of that story right now.
But the great story, it offers us a powerful new narrative. It reminds us that we aren't separate at all. We are an integral, inseparable part of a 13.8 billion-year cosmic journey. We're not just living on Earth. We are Earth in its most conscious and self-aware form.
When we truly remember that we're made of stardust, when we embrace our role as this planet's consciousness, well, everything changes. Caring for the Earth is no longer a chore or a heavy burden. It becomes our birthright. It becomes the most natural thing in the world because it's just the universe continuing its own creative journey through us.
So you see, the story isn't over. Not by a long shot. This grand cosmic epic is still being written, and we are the ones holding the pen for this chapter. Our choices, our actions, our awareness, they're all writing the next verse. So the only question left for us is, what kind of story are we going to tell?